Well, I just got back from watching Venom: The Last Dance, so here is my spoiler review. Spoilers ahead. Obviously, you all knew this because it's in the title. I actually don't hate this movie. I think this movie was actually pretty good, pretty fun. And the reason I say that is because if you take away the fact that, yeah, this is Sony and, all the other fumbles they've made recently, and, and you just look at it from a different point of view, and you just look at, oh, this could be an enjoyable, fun movie, it works. It's really fun, and it's really a fun movie if you take a look at that. It gets a little emotional. I got a little emotional towards the end, so spoilers ahead. Venom and Eddie have to separate. So I got a little emotional. Some people in my theater got a tiny bit emotional. But yeah. So point is that uh, basically it's a fun movie if there are some things that you take away from it. There's some other things like we can get into more spoilery stuff. There's some the main villain is Xenophage, which is basically a thing that hunts down symbiotes, and we get introduced to this pretty early in the movie. The one odd thing though is that I know in No Way Home, you all remember Venom sitting in that bar and then getting sent back home. Sony retconned that so that that whole time in the bar that was always in Venom's universe. So he never went to the MCU. That piece of Venom was just in the MCU or in the Venom universe the whole time. Crap. Fuck. Classic way for Sony, I guess. Um, but we're not really here to fully piss on Sony's side of the fence right now. Ignoring that part, we have some pretty fun moments where Venom and Eddie, they go and they meet this kid who isn't confirmed to be Peter Parker. Some people thought it was. It's not. Basically, and we get introduced to someone who is Recypherns, but he doesn't play the Lizard. Instead, he plays like this conspiracy theorist who's going to Area 51 before it shuts down because that happens in this universe. Um, and so he wants to go see Area 51, and Eddie's like, oh, well, I gotta head there. Can you take me there? Around there? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? Saddle up, buddy. So they go, and then Venom has to separate from the guys and this kid after they bond for a bit because he's like, no, this thing's following me. I'll get you all killed if you follow me. And then he goes off on his own, and then the family comes back to go see Area 51 before it shuts down. So it's not the best subplot, but it works. I mean, it doesn't really work, but it's okay. And then we got some more stuff with one of the big guys I was so excited to see was Toxin. I've read about Toxin. I love Toxin. He seems awesome. He seemed like a badass. And then there's a moment. I mean, me and my brother were talking about this. Rest in peace, Toxin. Bro tried to make the ultimate sacrifice. I thought Toxin was gonna be a villain in this movie. Mm-mm. My boy Toxin, bro, he used the last minutes of his life to basically save Venom. So what he does is he goes and he warns Venom through Detective Mulligan. He says like, "Yo, bro, the guy who made us, he's coming after all of us. He's sending these things to come kill us. You need to get out of here as fast as you can. Like, don't worry about the rest of us. Just go, cause you got the stuff that he wants. Get out of here." So basically, the rest of the symbiotes are all like protecting Venom because they're like, I don't want to die. We don't want him to die because he's one of us. So let's help him. So there's a moment where the xenophage comes in through this building that talks. So basically, they captured Detective Mulligan. So Toxin pops up through Mulligan to talk to Venom, and then the xenophage comes crashing in because it can track symbiotes. And so it comes crashing in because it senses Venom, Eddie, and Mulligan. So crashes in, and so it tries to go after Venom. Toxin ends up jumping on top of the thing and starts like choking it out. And then he gets like and then I'll admit, Toxin put up one hell of a fight for it. And honestly, I'll say this: I think Toxin knew he was gonna die because he knew what this thing was. The second all the symbiotes heard what this thing was, they got chills up their spine. They're like, oh shit, Noah's coming after all of us. We're dead. So I think Toxin knew what was happening. He knew he wasn't getting out of that alive. So bro had some balls of steel and decided, you know what, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out like a legend. I mean, not a legend, but he basically ends up tackling the xenophage like through a window and starts trying to pummel it before eventually he's literally shoved down the xenophage's throat and swallowed whole, with Detective Mulligan dying in the process. But that bought enough time for Venom to get away. So rest in peace to him. So moving on to Geopor. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. I'll just call him Mordo. Mordo basically plays a security officer here, and so his goal is to hunt Venom down. I don't remember if he dies or doesn't die. It's kind of vague. I forgot. But yeah, he's trying to kill Venom, and so then at the end he starts teaming up with Venom to kill the xenophage, and yeah. So that's kind of his thing, and then Venom and Eddie, they end up breaking out the rest of the symbiotes. They break out, who they break out? They break out Scream. They break out this dude who looks like he's like super strong. They break out a few other guys, but like Scream and a few others. And so these guys just bond to humans and start going toe to toe with the xenophage. A lot of them die. And again, same thing to Toxin. They're all trying to help Venom because he has got the Codex. Basically, what the Codex is it's what's going to allow Null to travel through the multiverse and get out of his prison that the symbiotes put him in. So basically, they all know, similar to Toxin, they all knew they were going to die, but they decided to help Venom. So, and then Eddie, I can't tell, Venom gets separated from Eddie, and Venom dies. Like, he basically wraps himself around the xenophage and then kills it from that way, but he dies in the process because he's not connected to Eddie. So then Eddie's kind of just living his life at the end of the movie, and, well, he just lives his life. So the ending is a little, I mean, I liked it for the symbiotes. That was pretty cool. Human characters, aside from Eddie. Oh, I forgot. We get to meet Mrs. Chen at a casino, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, Mrs. Chen, Eddie, those guys, they were pretty fun. The family subplot, the movie would be kind of the same without them. It's pretty nice, though. But yeah, all in all, I gave it a 7 or a 6 out of 10. Because, I mean, could have done some things better. But anyway, that's honestly kind of just my review of Venom: The Last Dance. I might do a more in-depth video of it later. But this is sort of just my straight out of the theater, getting back home review. So yeah, see ya.